This person has been afraid of love for quite some time. This is somebody that when they met you felt very drawn towards you, very attracted to you, but they were afraid of getting it wrong, or I'm hearing getting it wrong again. So this may be somebody that came out of a very tough or long-term cycle of rejection, where they had sensed a spark and connection with others, had started to develop things, and then maybe they experienced, ghosting, or kind of like getting comfortable with people only to find out the person they were dealing with was someone else. This might have been somebody that was catfished by people, by several people. They had their walls up really high when you came into their life. And the way in which you have been very patient and consistent with this person, with this energy of happiness as freedom from fear, you are liberating them or holding space for them to liberate themselves from that hesitation, from that resistance to give love just one more try. It feels like when this person came into your life, or you came into their life rather, a part of them was really shut down. They were not expecting very much. They may not have even been, on the prowl, on the hunt for love. You could have come into their life through some kind of serendipitous event, circumstances that were beyond somebody that's like, I'm lonely, let me go try to meet someone. And so it feels like even that, the way in which you were kind of inserted into this person's path, has really taken them by surprise, and it is something that has caused them to have to confront that sort of wounding and those walls within, because the bottom line is they cannot deny the fact that they are deeply attracted to you. You have awoken something within this person that is optimistic about what the future can hold between the two of you. The ways in which you've kept your boundaries in place. You may have held this person accountable at some point in time if they were being a bit avoidant, or, kind of running hot and cold with you. If there had been some ghosting on their part, or inconsistencies, or it's like somebody that is very hard to read, or somebody that, it's hard to get them to open up about how they are feeling. And instead of chasing them, it's like you just kind of circled back around into yourself. It's given this person a wake-up call almost. You have helped this person to kind of take steps to evolve beyond those limits within self, because they see that this is a rare connection that you share between the two of you. It feels better to be closer to you than it does to, feed life into the possibility that they could miss out on this if they empower kind of that current of fear within. It's like you've awakened something within this person that has not gone back to sleep. They are unable to kind of see what they have seen now with you. This is somebody that's looking at this situation with like their heart light on very brightly, and it's you who has flipped that switch within them without even meaning to. This is somebody, it feels like, that has come to a sudden realization that you are like an opportunity. You're like a last opportunity, or the opportunity of a lifetime, to set course in a different sort of direction, to break almost like an unlucky streak as far as romance is concerned. Again, like a lot of rejections that might have just led this person to be like, forget it, I'm over it, love just isn't for me. Let me focus on other things. Let me cultivate other interests in my life. Let me, kind of seize the moment to build upon things that are responsive to my energy, or to just focus on being really grateful for the things that are going well. And so it was in the midst of that you've come into their life and created this very powerful transformation within them. This is somebody that it feels like every step closer that they take towards you, there's a lot of empowerment that they are having to kind of scoop up from deep within themselves in order to push forth through that energy of fear, because you make them really happy. You make them feel very seen and very safe, even as much as there may be some resistance at times on this person's part. And you've honored that. You've respected that. You've not been very confrontational with them, or, judgmental, or trying to like push them to be anything other than they can be at this moment in time. And it feels like that is something that provides this person with a lot of reassurance that you are somebody who is aligned with their highest good, that you have really good intentions, that no matter what kind of the road leading to this point in their life or their romantic journey has looked like, that you are someone that is representing almost like a glimmer of hope that something different can be experienced. And so this is somebody that wants to, kind of take a chance on seeing what can happen between the two of you. They don't like the idea that these wounds within and the way that that has caused these like really high walls, almost something that they had put in place to kind of protect their heart or to heal or get some kind of space or distance between themselves and what was sort of a negative pattern in love and romance, that became like a prison that they are living within. It ceased to be a fortress and it became like a source of almost containing them within themselves. And so now this is somebody that is definitely motivated to try and step beyond all of that, kind of let down that guard. They're dismantling that sort of bit by bit within themselves, reaching for you energetically. If you still have contact with this person, even if it might be something that's kind of choppy, kind of sparse, it's like every time you have an interaction with one another, they walk away from that feeling very, very enlightened, and also like a weight has been lifted off of them energetically and emotionally. And so it feels like there's been enough kind of occurrences of that they have definitely consciously started to equate you with someone that is representative of like a threshold that they need to cross over in order to step into a higher timeline for themselves and their life in general, because it feels like even if nothing else changes in their life, at this point or moving forward, and the only thing that's different is kind of, the introduction of something more serious or more consistent between the two of you, that in and of itself, that idea of like a love that is right, a romance that is good, something that brings out the best in the two of you, that is something that kind of incentivizes this person, that it's a reward in and of itself. That is a step up into like a higher bracket of experience that they have been in up to this point or recently. We also have go within. Yeah, so if there's some silence between the two of you, or this person's just been kind of like quiet, maybe they have other things going on in their life at this point as well, that's kind of like, creating so much stress that they are just having a retreat within their shell. Or this could be something where there's been some kind of like root wound, some kind of fear that has been triggered within, a fear of kind of like taking a chance on this love or trusting at what is happening between the two of you at face value, because it's almost like, okay, I've trusted before in the past and I've gotten it terribly wrong. I've trusted in circumstances, I got my hopes in, I invested myself, and it all fell apart, and then I needed to start over from scratch. This could be the kind of person that loses themselves within connections. So when circumstances end, it's like they've given little pieces of themselves away, or they may have a tendency to like people please. There could be somebody that has like a history of codependency that they've been trying to kind of work on, or that they've recognized as kind of a reoccurring pattern. And so it takes a huge toll on them. Everything time things fall apart, whether this is something that is the product of their own making, or just kind of like not making good choices in terms of like who they are sort of entering into romance with, or times where they have really just been taken for a ride, kind of fooled by people. If this is someone that had a period of time where they were kind of like chatting with people online, trying to create romance in that way, they could have gotten catfished, and that could be something as well that has kind of humbled them in a way, or has like created this guard that has gone up within them, sort of like, I don't know what I can trust as far as people that I'm dealing with directly, people that I'm dealing with remotely or virtually. And so this is somebody that has just sort of developed that like thick shell as a comfort zone within which they retreat. And so for any combination of reasons, it feels like they're in that sanctuary, they've gone within, but in that space of being in their shell, they are thinking about you a lot. They're thinking about kind of like everything that has happened, miscommunications that might have happened, hurt feelings that have happened, or even if it's just kind of like, this is just, you've chalked it up to how this person is. You might be at a stage in your connection yet where, it's not really presenting as like a red flag. If they're sort of taking some time, you've got some space in between the two of you, they are very mindful of the fact that it's like, this could become a problem. I don't want to like have this be the tone of our interactions moving forward. This is somebody that's trying to kind of figure out ways in which to coax themselves beyond this kind of urge to run, this instinct to, have these experiences with with you and then get very overwhelmed when it's a little too close for comfort. It feels like their inner critic is almost operating kind of like a helicopter parent at this point, just very self-protective. It's kind of like every step forward that they want to take there towards you in this connection, deepening your understanding and your intimacy with one another and your communication with one another, there's a part of them that is like, wait, think about it. Can you really trust in this? You know, is this something that is going to really be for your highest good in a long-term sense? It feels like there's a part of them that is really kind of advocating for them to just sort of choose to remain single, choose to hold on to that kind of like jaded attitude that has come as a result of whatever sort of the recent past or maybe even more long-term energies have looked like as far as love and romance is concerned. It's like you represent sort of a fresh start, a second chance, or a new opportunity, or like a next opportunity to kind of have something better than they've known before. But there's this huge fear within them of kind of like getting that wrong, also not living up to your expectations of kind of like what they've presented so far, or what they may sort of assume or figure like you're worthy of in partnership, you're looking for in partnership. They're looking at themselves like, you know, if everything has fallen apart for me before, I've been rejected or you know, been tricked in certain ways, I'm the common denominator in all of that. So maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the one that is flawed and kind of is no good at love. I'm no good at romance. Maybe I'm meant to just be alone. And so it feels like there's this huge internal dilemma going on within this person at this point, because they're very drawn towards you. They want to have more romantic experiences with you, but then there's also a part of them that is definitely afraid to take risks outside of that comfort zone. We also have be calm and keep going. So it feels like anything that this person has kind of opened up to you emotionally at this point in time, that took a lot of effort on their part to speak about their feelings, to show up and hold space while you discussed things that might have been emotional as well. Even just casual conversation, it feels like between the two of you has stirred something up within this person. Like there are deep feelings which are coming to the surface or are developing even in this period of time where there may be some distance, they've taken a step back. And they can't ignore that. Again, it's like something has been activated within them. A switch has been flipped within them, and they can't turn that off. They can't unsee the possibility that exists in the here and now between the two of you, that this is an opportunity to get things right in love. This is an opportunity to break that unlucky streak. This is the opportunity to, you know, kind of like go forth in the direction of something better, something new, something unique. You are presenting as a very different type of person than whoever they had been dealing with in the past or recently that had kind of like left bad taste in their mouth as far as romance is concerned, had made them question themselves, or, you know, where they kind of like gave a lot of themselves and it all sort of fell apart, and then they were left picking up the pieces and trying to like reinvent themselves on the other side of that. It's like you fit in with this current version of who they are, and so there's a huge part of them that is kind of like, yeah, take this chance, take this leap of faith. They're as much as they're trying to like hold themselves back or kind of feed into that energy of fear and questioning, there's also this advocate within them that is like, the two of you have crossed paths. It's time for a reason. You know, that this is somebody that feels like that has taken a good hard look in the mirror prior to you coming into their life, prior to you coming into their reality. They made some changes, they made some tough decisions. You know, this may be somebody that has been single for a while. They've been out of the dating pool because it was sort of leading to a lot of disappointment. And even if that was something that was motivated through pessimism, it's like they took a step back from just repeatedly putting themselves in that position to be hurt or disappointed or, you know, fooled by people, or just like whatever that has looked like for them. And so there is this sense of sort of like, you are this glimmer of hope that there is the opportunity to have something different, something else, something more than they have known. That it's almost like your energy is an invitation or an extension of like an opening through to a new layer of reality for them. You know, again, life may not change a whole lot for them in other ways, but there is that kind of added bonus, that incentive of love, of being loved, of having romance, of building partnership with another person. And so as much as there may be that silence, there's that contemplativeness, there's also the sense of like, I want to walk towards you. I want to open up to this connection, but I know that I can't bring this fear with me. I know I can't present chaos in this circumstance and expect that it's going to be matched or mirrored by high vibrational and loving energies by you. You've already been patient with this person. You've already had a lot of maybe like empathy for this person, or enough self-love that you are willing to, continue to move forward, not chase them, honor their kind of like need or desire to take a step back. You're somebody that is modeling like to enter into more of a romance with you. It represents steps forward in a better direction. That you are somebody that is not just kind of like having a high standard but expecting everybody else to kind of perform. It's like you're holding yourself accountable in that same way as well. This person may recognize that it may have been very difficult for you to take steps forward to honor their need for silence, or the fact that they've pulled back their energy somewhat. They sense that that is something that's not in accordance with sort of like what you wanted, but you respect yourself enough and you respect them enough to kind of like, okay, that's your choice, that's your decision. I will continue then to move in the direction of where I feel called. I am desiring love and partnership for myself. So if you are not someone who is able to kind of give that or match my efforts, then that is my cue or signal to continue to take steps forward. And so even that has given this person reassurance that, unlike previous situations where there may have been kind of like a requirement that they just sort of stoop, lower themselves, kind of suppress parts of themselves, give parts of themselves away, kind of build this sort of artificial persona in order to fit into a circumstance, to have a breakup, and then they need to like redefine or rediscover themselves again. They see this as something that like you're a person who you live in this essence, or your interactions with them are of the essence that like there's authenticity, there's progress, there's personal growth and transformation as a person. And so this is something that it's given them a lot of reassurance that to take steps forward towards you, to sort of move beyond that kind of fortress prison that they have built around their heart, signals the opportunity to step forth in the direction of romance with a person, with you, the viewer, who can share and provide and co-create an opportunity where you are both sort of exceeding the limits of the ways in which love and life has wounded you, created guardedness within each of you in the past. So this person sees that like experiences with you seem to accelerate something within them. They have to be willing to like get into this experience with you and be open to the fact that like, yeah, we may settle into a comfortable connection with one another, but this is definitely a situation where we're not going to allow either one of us to slack. We're not going to allow either one of us to sort of, get stuck in ruts, or, posture or perform, or be something that we are not. It's a high standard. It's a high vibration. It's something that speaks to kind of life affirming experiences rather than things that are, stagnating or stifling. And so this person recognizes that you represent an opportunity for something different, something better. And so despite the silence, this is somebody that is trying to coax themselves to that point of like opening up their heart, opening up their energy, taking decisive action, or even just kind of like opening up the lines of communication between the two of you so necessary conversations can take place, so you can kind of see where it is that they're coming from, understand that they still have interest in this, that they are, wanting to move forward with you, although the pace of that may be something that is different from what it was before, if they've collided with these fears, or they kind of reach this threshold of like, yeah, they want something more, but there's a deep fear within them of kind of getting it wrong in this circumstance. You've been patient with them. It may require more patience, or it may be the kind of thing where you're like, that's not what I'm aligning with, that's not what I'm looking for, and then you part ways. But this person doesn't just want to like drop off the radar and have that be it between the two of you. They want to at least provide you with some kind of closure, but best case scenario is like, don't give up on me. Like, I still want to have something. I still want to pursue something with you. I've just gotten stuck inside of myself with this fear of getting it wrong because I've gotten it wrong before, even though everything about you signals that there's something incredibly right about this circumstance and about what we can have moving forward. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.